Hey guys, the Bat. I'm back again with another comic book haul. Picked up some more books from cheap bins that I wanted to show. Got some good books, and some books I just got because I just liked the cover or it reminded me of a story from way back when. Um, Starting with this Young Justice, issue number 38. Apparently, around that time period in DC, they were running a sub story, Joker Last Laugh, where Joker was like the main antagonist in multiple DC comics during that month. And this is the first time I saw the Young Justice version. And I picked it up. And I didn't know until after I looked at it that the cover was done by Walt Simonson of Thor fame. So picked it up. This one is not really worth much, but just for the sentimental value. She-Hulk is hot right now, and I just like this cover by I think it's Alex Garner. Nice rendition of Spider-Man and She-Hulk. I like the feminine version of She-Hulk where she's not. This is a beautiful rendition of her. You can tell she's muscular. But yet she still has her femininity. You know what they got going on now in Marvel with this bruiser type She-Hulk. I just can't get with. Just totally took her out of character as far as I'm concerned. Picked up another copy of Powers #1, the Icon. When it went to Icon, the first appearance of Powers is from Image. If you're looking for the Powers collection and you want to get the very first Powers, it's the Image version of Powers. So that's that with that. Spectacular Spider-Man 256 with an issue. In this issue, it has an appearance of White Rabbit, the Marvel version of White Rabbit. I don't know if it's the second appearance, third, or whatever, but I picked it up because I think she's a superiorly underrated character that has a potential to be a really great character if they use her correctly. And also, in this is the first appearance of Prodigy. So, go with that for those who like picking up key first appearances or first appearances in general. All-Star Squadron. Always like when they have Shazam and Superman at odds with each other because they're so closely related. And there's so much history between the two characters. In so many levels. They were both from different companies. DC sued, I forgot what company had Captain Marvel at the time, over copyright infringement as far as that they felt Captain Marvel was too closely related to Superman. And I think it eventually led to Captain Marvel comics not being produced, and DC bought the rights to Captain Marvel, and they brought him into the DC fold. But a little tidbit of did you know that Captain Marvel's face that they used back in the day was based on Fred McMurray. And Fred McMurray was the star of, I'm going to say Fathers Knows Best, My Three Sons. And I guess the artist really liked the way Fred McMurray looked, and based Captain Marvel, the grown version of Captain Marvel, on him. So this is All-Star Squadron number 36. Which is a good issue. And I also picked up issue right behind it with issue number 37. Very good Jerry Ordway art. I really, really love these covers. They really do bring back a lot of memories. And all these books came out of the $2 bin, except for one book. One book I got cost me $5. I also picked up this book. This book, for some reason, was getting a little buzz. I don't know if it was for the cover by Chiodo or what the contents inside of it was. But it's a pretty good rendition of Kitty Pryde with her little pet dragon, Lockheed. Um, and that's basically all I can say about that. Next on the list, I found another copy of Scooby Apocalypse number 25. Um, this is like a more serious version of Scooby and the gang and their monster hunting, ghost hunting adventures. But in this issue, it really took it to a really serious moment because Fred actually gets killed in this issue, which is something that's totally unheard of. First time ever, one of the Scooby Gang dying, being killed. And I like trying to find this book. When it first came out, it was hard to find. Because for one thing, a lot of people wasn't really buying Scooby Apocalypse, so the print run is pretty low. But to find another copy, I was real happy to get my hands on it. Now this Titans book, okay, it's kind of wow. There's two different versions for this cover. Also, it's the first appearance of Damien Dark. But they said in the comic book realm that it's rare to find one with a double cover, which has both covers of the alternate covers for the book, which I'm gonna show. I'm gonna try to find it real quick so I can show you what I'm talking about. It's easier to show it than to. All right, that's the first cover, and this is also the other alternate cover for the Titans issue number 1. All right, but they said that it's uncommon to find the ones that have a double cover. And I opened that one up that you're looking at now, and it had a double cover. It had the other cover in it. So I went back and I pulled all the copies that I found throughout my time buying from dollar bins, and I have like 6 of these. 3 of this cover and 3 of that cover. And all 6 of them have the double cover, regardless. If it's Dick Grayson Titans on the front cover, it's going to have the Starfire cover on the second page. If it's the Starfire cover on the front, on the inside it's going to have the Dick Grayson. And I mean, every last one of them had a double cover. So I think that if you find one that doesn't have a double cover, that might be the more rare, or it could be a regional thing that's going on with that book, as far as some areas getting double covers and some not. I don't know. X Factor number 25. I picked that one up, and that has the second appearance of Archangel in it. The 50th year anniversary of Detective Comics, I picked that one up. It's in great shape. The 25th anniversary of X Factor, issue number 10, with the borderline of the Marvel heroes on it. I really love that that comic. I've been trying to collect. I think I do have all of them. And I think I have multiples of a lot of them, of the anniversary covers. And that's a great Walt Simonson rendition of Cyclops. It's just a beautiful book. X Factor number 17 has the first appearance of Richter and the first appearance of the 4th Horseman of the Apocalypse. Pick this one up. This one has a little heat behind it. It's the Alex Ross rendition of Catwoman for Batman 685. Beautiful cover. No spine ticks. The second print of Batman and Robin, issue number 1, with in case you didn't know it, that's the Dick Grayson Batman and the Damian Wayne Robin. I've been picking up these dollar comics from DC back in the day. DC started, they go through their moments when they try to change things up, and they had switched all their comics to dollar comics. So at that time, um, all their books, mostly all their books were printed like this. This is issue 197. 198, and 199. I also picked up Detective Comics 493. And the 500th issue of Superman in Action Comics. And I do love getting all the anniversary type issues, the 25th issue. Sometimes they make a thing out of the 25th issue, but the 50th, the 75th issue, the 100th issue, the 200th issue, 250, on and on and on. But I do like to pick them up. Sometimes they carry a little bit of value. I found a Max Comics of Black Widow #1 with Black Widow #4, Yelena Belova. It's a good Greg Horn cover, but I really like this cover. It looks more realistic. Black Widow #2. Found another Graduation Day. Issue #3, Titans Young Justice, Graduation Day. The Death of Wonder Girl. Found a Fantastic Four, 558, first appearance of Old Man Logan. Punisher #12, when he was going through his Frankencastle phase. I really like the cover of the Legion of Monsters, or if you want to call them that. But it's a great cover of him being with them, because at that time, it's really convoluted. Poor Punisher. To me, Punisher has been changed so much. He's the only character, I think, out of Marvel Comics that has been like Iron Man, has been a Captain America type. He's been Ghost Rider. I mean, he's been run through the gambit of different types of characters. But that's a great cover of Punisher #12. I also pick these up. When I see them, I grab them. I think this book is highly underrated. I think her as Robin has been understated. Stephanie Brown, this is the first appearance of her as Robin. Great looking action cover for issue #126. Picked up some older books that was in the boxes. Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man #18 with Angel and Iceman. That look like it is. This is a great Gil King cover. And also picked up Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man issue #23 with an early appearance of Moon Knight. Now, this book cost me $5. It's another copy of variant of Venom #1. I love this cover. I think it's really, really well done. Of Flash Thompson and the Venom symbiote. Picked up this Witchblade variant for issue #67. And the Witchblade variant for issue #102 in the bins. Came across a couple of DC Universe books. Green Lantern #52, #53, and the controversial one, #54, of Kyle Rayner's girlfriend was killed by Major Force. And when he killed her, once he killed her, he stuffed her in a refrigerator. And it showed an partial image of her body when he came home of her stuffed in the refrigerator, which caused a lot of controversy of violence towards women. And for a time, it was a little stink behind this book, which has I guess since passed. But at that time, this book was pretty controversial. I think I got like 2 or 3 DC Universe copies of this book. Adam Hughes cover for Tomb Raider number 18. Great cover. Spider-Man Sweet Charity. This is a one-shot from Marvel for great J. Scott Campbell cover of Spider-Man. It also has an appearance of a lot of TV stars in it, mainly main character Jay Leno and Jennifer Tilly. It also has cameos of Kevin Spacey, Robert De Niro, and it's one more. Kevin Spacey, Robert De Niro. Jack Nicholson. I picked these up when I find them. Nightwing number 1 in his first solo series debut. Deathstroke the Terminator, issue number 10, which has been called the second full appearance of the new female vigilante. Mark Spector Moon Knight number 1. I picked that one up. Great cover to have. And that has the first appearance of a character called Tector, Mr. Glitch, and Chloe Tran. Here's another book that's severely underrated. All-Star Squadron number 25. This book has a host of first appearances in it. It has a teen first appearance of Infinity Incorporated, first appearance of Jade, first appearance of Obsidian, first appearance of Nuclon, first appearance of Silver Scarab. A great book to have in any collection. Every time I see it, I grab it. Very underrated book. Very. Week 7 of issue number 52. First appearance of Kate Kane, who will later become the Batwoman, which is now a CW television show. Now this one, this book is another very, very underrated book. And I see these all the time, and I grab them. Ultimate Fantastic Four, number 1. Because for the longest time, this book was really, the Ultimate Fantastic Four reboot. Fantastic Four reboot in the Ultimate Universe. But when the Ultimate Universe was destroyed, so-called destroyed, Reed Richards survived, but he had turned basically evil. And he became the Maker in the 616 universe. And he's a major villainous character now. And it's good if you can find this book in the dollar bin. I would advise anybody to grab this book. It's worth picking up for $1 or $2 or whatever. I picked up 2 more copies of this book. Very good book to have. Iceman issue number 3. This book had some rumors with it at one time. It still might be pretty popular because it ties in with Null and all that's going on in Venom, because the first appearance of Oblivion in this issue of the issue number 3 of the 4-issue miniseries of Iceman, which is great to have. X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 451. This is a great cover of X-23 standing on top of Wolverine, and she's wearing the Fang costume that Wolverine had taken off Fang way back, I think, in X-Men 94, when they were off-world, and that would have been a great costume for her. Maybe gave her a mask or whatever, but yeah, it's a pretty cool book to have. It's worth a little bit of money. And I found this. X-Men number 15. This book is really gaining a lot of steam. It's got first appearance of the Horseman of the Apocalypse and first appearance of the Horseman Pestilence. This book is really starting to heat up, dealing with a lot of buzz, dealing with the powers of 10 and House of X, or the House of Powers of X, or whatever, whichever way I want to carry it. But it's been a great renewed interest in X-Men by Hickman. He's interjected a lot of energy back into the X-Men franchise, and a lot of well, I really am glad that he put Apocalypse back into, I guess, instead of making him a twisted up character like they had messed him up, he's now put back in the prominence of what he should be. Apocalypse. He should be like the top of the top as far as mutants are concerned. Um, and I like what they did as far as Defies being able to regenerate, in the Powers of X, and the House of X being able to regenerate the mutants. I'm a little leery on a lot of that. What's going on in that. And I know Hickman, he's got a lot of stuff that he hasn't revealed, and it can go south so many ways with that book as far as what's going on. And Professor X not showing his face fully, it's something going on. I don't know if he's mixed with Cassandra Nova, or what's going on with that. I don't know if Miora McTaggart is really an agent of Apocalypse. And because if you, in the last issue of the Powers of 10, she kind of like was telling Charles, basically, this is what you do this is how you are. And he was like, oh, thank you. And she was like, that's not a compliment. And I don't know. It's a lot of things going on in that book. And my thing is that Hickman has got the X-Men franchise back on track. But he's not writing all the other books that are coming out. And I kind of worry that after a while, when Hickman leaves or whatever, they're going to go right back into the same rut that they were in, with a whole lot of convoluted nonsense and whatnot that's going on that had caused the X-Men to basically flounder in the first place. If they can follow, if Hickman can make like a guideline encyclopedia for whoever writes X-Men, whoever takes over X-Men, and they stick to certain guidelines, it should be okay. But when you have so many people, too many cooks in the kitchen, it's I don't know. I just feel a disaster after a while. And this book, man, I was glad to find. I got a copy of this, but to find, I had to look at it and make sure it was a first printing. Batman Detective Comics issue number 1 from the New 52. And this book wasn't even in a bag and board. It was like sandwiched between a couple of comic books. And I'm pretty thorough when I go through comic books. A lot of people I watch people when they go through the binge. And when you get those bags where the comic books stick together like glue, people get frustrated with them. Or if they got people bring in a collection and it didn't tape the top of the comics down, so when you flipping through them, you gotta do a whole lot of flipping the sheet to see each individual comic. I see a lot of people who go after comics, they get frustrated and they throw in the towel and bypass that entire box of comics because they just don't feel like being, fooling with it. Or if they feel if the bags are sticking together, that the comic book really is messed up. And like I said, a bag can be grimy, whatever, but that doesn't reflect on what's inside of that bag. I've bought many a comic book where the bag made the comic book look like it was beat up and grungy. And most comic book shops will not object to you taking that book out and looking at it and putting it back in the bag. And first thing I look at when I pick up a book in a ready bag, I look at the spine. I look at the corners. I look at the back of the book. 'Cause most of the time when they're the stuck type comics, they don't have a backing board in it. It's just a comic in a bag. And they're like, due to the comic book, whoever owned it they didn't fool with the books for a while, or the humidity in there where they were kept at, the books kind of fused together. The plastic fuses together. And like I said, when people go through them, when they get to that type of comic books where they're all stuck together, they don't fool with it. They skip over it and go on to the next. And like I said, I done found many a gem. Even the comic book shop dealers, they don't even really feel like pulling them apart. They'll just put them in the bins. Have $2 or five for $1, whatever. I love it. I mean, to me, that's where I find most of my gems from. And it's just a little tip from the old bat to you. And the last book I got to show that I found in the $2 bin, Detective Comics issue 532, with the Joker on the front cover, and all those old Batman books, Detective Comics, where they have the Joker in the front or on the cover. Those books will outsell anything else from Batman. Joker has always been Batman's #1 foe. He's got charisma, and he's one of the greatest villainous characters ever created for Batman. And one thing I do like about Joker, and I hope they never do it, I hope they never do a true origin of this character. This is one character where the mystery of his origin is his greatest asset. Once they give him a definitive origin, and they say this is the definitive Joker origin, it's like jumping the shark. And certain characters, they need that mystery to them. Not everybody's story needs to be told. Same thing with Phantom Stranger. I think his greatest asset is there's a mystery behind who he is and what he is. And those type of characters, to me, are the greatest characters ever made because of the fact of the mystery behind them. And on that note, this is the Bat. I'm done. Second time for me making this video. I didn't like the first one that I made. I had made that like 3 o'clock in the morning, and you could tell I was halfway out of it. So I took the time today to redo it, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope that you'll leave a comment. I love getting comments, and I like responding to them. I'm not a big channel, so I can respond. Now, granted, most time I don't respond immediately because most of the time I'm doing other things, but I do come back and I do try to respond, to the newer videos. And if they show up that an older video was watched by somebody and they left a comment and it pops up on my phone, I normally respond to that. I just get a kick out of really talking about comic books. And on that note, I thank everyone for watching. Thank all my subscribers, all my old soldiers that's been around. It's been a blast. And life comes up and things change. And you get so busy doing other stuff that some things have to go on the back burner for a while. And that's basically it. I'm not gonna keep going on because I'm a great rambler. So on that note, y'all guys, everybody be well. We'll talk to you in the next comic book haul that I pick up. And I am out. Goodbye.